ดีครับคุณผู้ชมครับตอนรับเข้าสู่ CIO World Business Talk ครับโลกของเทคโนโลยีปัญญาประดิษฐ์นั้นก้าวหน้าขึ้นมากนะครับบริษัทต่างๆพยายามที่จะมองหาการลงทุนในเรื่องของเทคโนโลยี AI กำลังกลายเป็นหนึ่งในประเด็นสำคัญของโต๊ะประชุมว่าเราต้องการจะลงทุนไหมจะมีประโยชน์อย่างไรจากมันจะใช้ประโยชน์อย่างไรจากมันนะครับวันนี้ผมมีโอกาสได้พูดคุยกับผู้บริหารท่านหนึ่งครับคุณ Kirsten Williams นะครับเธอเป็น CMO จาก Infor นะครับเธอจะมาฉายภาพให้เห็นว่าสถานการณ์ปัจจุบันของโลกของ AI เป็นยังไงบ้างรวมไปถึงสิ่งที่เราได้คุยกันคือบทบาทหน้าที่ของผู้บริหารระดับสูงนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็น CEO CFO หรือแม้แต่สำคัญก็คือ CIO บทบาทหน้าที่ของท่านต่างๆเหล่านี้กับเรื่องราวของ AI จะเป็นอย่างไรบ้างติดตามชมกันเลยครับCould you please tell me the situation of AI adoption in terms of using in the enterprise? What do you think?
Well, Infor is a global software business that has built its technology innovation on a foundation of really understanding the specific needs of the key industries we serve across manufacturing, automotive, supply chain, fashion and retail, and many others. But we've taken a very industry-specific approach to solving the key business challenges for companies in these key industries. Now, what that means in terms of artificial intelligence adoption, there are many aspects of AI that we have been implementing into our applications for over 15 years. So when you think about artificial intelligence as a category of innovation, you have prescriptive and predictive AI, which uses data and intelligence about the past to help predict what recommendations can be made in the future. Those are types of AI innovation that are very standard now in terms of application software. But now with the rise of generative AI, which produces content and images and the applicability of creating more relevant content in the context of industry process, that's where we see an incredible amount of innovation and opportunity for growth, and especially when you look at generative AI use cases in specific industries versus horizontal applications of that type of innovation in departmental workflows. We're really looking at where we can automate and provide contextual content and relevancy based on the data in your industry and within the context of that industry process. So when companies are looking at how to apply new technology, we really see that the best practice is to take specific use cases that are most critical to running your core business and start from there. We really focus on creating the application of generative AI or artificial intelligence use cases for automation that are built on making business metric improvements in 90 days or less. Really think that looking at the time to value of implementing these newer innovations shouldn't be taken in kind of widespread fashion across the enterprise, but really focus on what could really move your business forward in specific areas that are where you could get the most value the most quickly.
Who will be the leader of AI project in company and why?
I believe, hands down, that the new innovation leaders in companies are going to be those that are managing operations. When you think about the business level improvements that companies need to make on their core business objectives, this is driving top line revenue growth, improving margin and operational efficiency, and ensuring customer success and customer delivery and satisfaction. Now you look across those three dimensions of business drivers in a company, and in order to optimize the performance of those outcomes, it requires very micro level detail of your process, of how you're producing your goods and materials, how those products actually get to market to the customer. And in order to find the optimization that can actually improve margin or improve revenue and growth requires operational leaders who have a real purview across the enterprise in their core business. How you make great products, how you deliver those great products to the customer, and then ultimately drive that long-term value.
What are the key considerations before start AI project?
It's so important that you have a data foundation that is really purpose-built for your industry. I think that by creating a construct of data integrity where you have intrinsic knowledge of all the different attributes that help to run your core business. So your employee data, your customer data, your accounting records, and also your product and item information in terms of the products you're delivering to your customers. Actually getting to that data harmonization is very, very critical. We really believe more data relevance really leads to better data outcomes. So having that secure foundation on data is really a critical first step. The second is being able to adopt industry best practices in your process. So another big aspect of being able to take advantage of the benefits of artificial intelligence really start with taking best practices, quite simply, out of the box in order to be able to take advantage of innovation in the cloud. We work with our customers before any engagement, sitting down with them to understand how they can adopt the best practices that we've built in a multi-tenant cloud environment, where the majority of our customers can take those best practices 70 to 80% out of the box, and then be able to leverage process modeling to configure any specific aspects of their process, which are very unique to them. As for example, if they're creating very specialized or customized products, but still built on a foundation that has those business processes very highly optimized and scalable in a cloud infrastructure. Now, if you have those pieces of data integrity and optimization and standardization of your industry processes, that's what allows you to take advantage of automation, of process intelligence, and more advanced innovation like generative AI in order to start your projects and your journey. I think the CIO is really going to become this change management broker and leader in the organization. You know, the customers that I speak with, the role of the CIO has really changed. They actually now have a purview across all the data and insights of what is running in the company. And I think on the business side, being able to look to IT and the data and predictions that IT can really help drive, the business has to listen to those leaders in a different way. So for example, in some of our fashion and retail customers that I've spoken with, you know, in a creative field where you want to produce as many of a product that you believe will sell, well, you need to take a look at the data and insights and the trends that could be anticipated by things like artificial intelligence in order to understand, is that a product that's going to move off the shelf or not? And actually, IT can be the broker of those insights because they have that purview of all the information. Again, I want to go back to that concept of data relevancy across your employee data, your customer data, your product data, and on your accounting record. It's the formulation of all of those data points that can give you an understanding of what's going to help grow your business with the highest efficiency and margin, and also the ability to grow your revenue. So I think the role of the IT leader and the CIO in particular will have a very different business role, I think, in this next generation of artificial intelligence and Gen AI.
And what are the role for the other C-level?
I really believe that artificial intelligence and being able to apply next generation innovation like Gen AI it really requires creating a culture of experimentation within guardrails. So I think that the role of leadership today is to create the parameters for testing and learning and be able to trial these use cases in a finite way, a prescriptive way, a way that can drive immediate value within a quarter, so within 90 days. And that requires leadership because creativity and experimentation using these next generation technologies, it can be very rampant, but without really hard evidence of how that creates value in an enterprise. So I think for all of us as leaders, we have to create the paradigm of how do you create the right level of experimentation on these use cases that allow you to understand what's the minimum and maximum value that you think you're going to achieve, and then be able to run the use case, give it that time to execute, and then see what did you learn, and did it actually drive value more or less than what you expected.
Do you have any suggestion for enterprise or SME to invest in AI project or Gen AI, maybe technology about AI?
I think the advantage that small and mid-sized companies have because of the innovation that has built now in the cloud is exceptional. They have an opportunity to leapfrog many larger enterprises who may have implemented technology, robust sets of technology and applications in their environment, but they have a huge number of data scientists and engineers who can run that environment. Well, now because of the advancements we've made in industry-specific business process, purpose-built on the cloud, even small to mid-sized companies can take advantage of more innovative technologies in a much easier way. As I mentioned, adopting the industry best practices out of the box, based on a data foundation that has those best practices and those attributes really kind of set within that data infrastructure. And then when you're applying artificial intelligence, those automations can be served to you because it's built in the cloud. You could take advantage of continuous innovation without having to go through a system upgrade or an application upgrade, because in the cloud, those updates and new automations are already provisioned directly for the end user in those specific key roles. So I think it gives small and mid-sized businesses an incredible advantage to leapfrog their business model, adopt best practices in the cloud, and in many ways, these niche players who have really highly customized products or intrinsic new value that they can deliver for customers, they actually can compete much faster and with more agility than even larger enterprise competitors.
อย่างที่คุณเคอร์สเทนได้พูดนะครับว่าบทบาทของการเป็นนักบริหารบทบาทของการผู้นำองค์กรในโปรเจกต์ AI นั้นมีความสำคัญเรื่องของการเตรียมโครงสร้างพื้นฐานสำหรับการประมวลผล AI เรื่องของ Data การเก็บข้อมูลต่างๆการนำเอาข้อมูลมาใช้มีความสำคัญมากนะครับนั่นคือสิ่งที่ CIO World Business ได้นำมาให้กับท่านผู้ชมในวันนี้ลากันไปก่อนครับแล้วพบกันใหม่คลิปหน้าครับสวัสดีครับ